finally done it!
And welcome back to the Global Poker League. We're live and interactive with you this Thursday evening. I'm Laura Cornelius. We've already seen 2 games so far this evening. We've got one more lined up for you, and it's gonna be a good one. We've got Pascal Lefrancois of the Montreal Nationals taking on Anthony Zinno of the Las Vegas Moneymakers. There it is, coming up in just a few moments' time. This is top of the conference versus the bottom of the conference, and they're not just bottom of the conference by a few points, they are bottom of the conference by a lot of points. I'm not sure if we're going to have a look at the standings for the Americas Conference, but you can see they have a huge amount to catch up on. Look at that. So yeah, they have a lot of work to do. Even if Anthony Zinno manages to clean sweep tonight, it will make no difference to where they stand in the conference. They will remain at the bottom in 6. They will have to win a lot of games, in fact, to get any other place. San Francisco Rush, we saw Jonathan Jaffe take on Los Angeles Sunset Aaron Paul in the first match of today. That was a good one. We saw LA Sunset's Aaron Paul taking it down 6 points to 3 points, 2 games to 1. And of course, we had another great game as well. We saw Joao Bau in action for the Sao Paulo Mets too. Take a look at our app. It's very easy to download. Make sure you do it. It's available on iOS and on Android, and you can keep up to date now with all of the latest news. You can watch all of the highlights, watch past shows, and just keep up with your latest teams. And also use our fan shop to get the latest hoodies, t-shirts, and baseball caps. Follow us now as well on Facebook, Twitch, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube. So as I said, that next match coming up very soon. We will see in action the mighty Pascal Lefrancois for top of the conference, Montreal Nationals versus Las Vegas Moneymaker for bottom of the conference. Anthony Zinno for the bottom of the conference, Las Vegas Moneymakers. I'm going over to the commentary desk. Let's find out what's going on over there.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura. I am Roland Boothby.
I am not.
There.
I'm Steven.
What is your name? Steven van Zadelhoff.
Depends.
Zadelhoff.
Dutch or English, yes.
Potato.
I listen
potato,
to both.
Tomato.
Steven Potato. We're here for the last match of the day.
Yeah, and we're pretty excited about this one. We've got the haves and the have-nots, as we like to say. Montreal Nationals cruising. Just need one more win to secure their spot in Vegas. 6 points will take them over the line. Pascal Lefrancois, tough man to beat. Doesn't lose very often in heads up. 30 points on the board for the Montreal Nationals. By contrast, Zinno, 6 games, played 6 times, only put 15 points on the board. So real sort of idea of why those teams in the position they're in. Not saying Anthony Zinno's done anything wrong, but he hasn't had the whole Las Vegas Moneymakers team haven't really had the run of things. As you see, absolute crusher on the live game. 6 million earnings. 3.8 million of those earnings came in 2015 alone.
That is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
We can see it resulted in a number 1 of the GPI ranking.
Rose to number 1 on the GPI.
Yeah.
Was the
That's
GPI Player of the Year, I believe. And yeah, absolute crushing the live scene. Hasn't quite crushed things in the GPL. He made an interesting decision in his six-max match on Wednesday, which
They need
attracted a bit of attention. They needed the points. He made a risky play with Tyler Kenny. Destined to go bust the following hand, but
up or out.
Played up or out. It attracted a bit of attention. Obviously, it led to the Anthony Zinno Memorial Hand. What are you expecting us to see? Obviously, Pascal Lefrancois is really tough heads up.
Yeah, I must say I don't know him personally, but he's supposed to be a very good player. I see he even won a bracelet like 6 years ago.
Yeah, he won a bracelet, final table, the PCA. 2.5 million earnings. Certainly doesn't get out as much on the live circuit as Zinno does. Just 25 results going back to 2009. Yeah, he just plays and crushes online.
Won the Sunday warm-up.
1.5 million. Yeah,
2008, third
plays
in the
as
Super
pass
Tuesday.
72 on PokeStars. Pass _ 72. Not sure
Again,
if that's,
I'm sure if I go looking up in my database, I've played quite a couple hands with him. So I'm probably going to do that. That's funny. And now I know his screen name. He's probably going to pop up every now and there.
Yeah.
So, it's funny.
Well, just to clarify where we are, Montreal Nationals needing 6 points to guarantee a spot in the playoffs over there in the Cube in Las Vegas, which is pretty remarkable given that we have three more weeks to go after tonight. That's just a lot of points. I mean, there's a lot of points. Yeah, there's 14 points available in the six maxes, 9 points available each week in the heads up. So that's a lot of points to play for. And the Montreal Nationals to lock up a playoff spot already is incredibly impressive. Here we see the format for the playoffs. We go to the day one of the playoffs where the teams from each conference will play off first versus fourth, second versus third. We are introducing a bonus based on finishing position to reward the teams who've crushed things so far. So you see the fourth place team will be awarded 100,000 starting stack, going up to 110k for the third place seed, up to 120k for the second place, and 130k for what will almost certainly be the Montreal Nationals, unless things really turn around for them. Then the following day we will crown the conference champion from each conference. Teams will be carrying forward their bonus to the conference championship games, after which point the winning team from each conference will play off in that all-important final day, the day 3, where no bonuses will be in play whatsoever.
Even stacks of
half a million each. And of course that $100,000 first prize for the winner, for the winning team. And all to play for. Lots of twists and turns still ahead of us. Now, we always, we had a little friendly wager on the final game of last night. So I think, and we also had a little wager on whether Zhao Bao would smile. So I'm heavily in debt here. So
side bet professional.
Need to side bet maestro here. He's going to he's basically eating up my paycheck for the GPL shows bit by bit. But
the rent on Malta is not that cheap anymore as when I
arrived here 5 years ago,
so I can use the money.
Rents are rocketing here on the Maltese Isles,
so
losing side bets to my co-commentator is really.
Well, it's not an option for you to fly back home to London because that's even more expensive. So.
Yeah, if I go to London, I need to take out a. You
mortgage. Can sleep in a tent. It's okay.
Apparently, tents are a well-used way of poker players to cut down their costs on the tour. Going to be getting to this game just now. So I think, did you go first? Who went first yesterday with the prediction?
Sorry,
who went first? Did you? I think you took Dominic Nietzsche first. Or?
Yeah, probably.
So I get first pick. I think I go for Pascal Lefrancois.
Good. You really didn't like Anthony's play with the King Jack, right?
I mean, Anthony.
At first, you liked it. You said he needs to gamble. He needs the points, which is true.
I've made a strategic decision not to criticize too many players of these players. They're all great players. Even we had the only amateur really, Aaron Paul, showing that he can actually maneuver amongst the best of them.
No,
so
he did. Like I said earlier, we all have our own expertise. Like even as what we say, professional poker players. Yeah. We have leaks in our knowledge, and we have corners of our knowledge that are very strong. So we all make mistakes. It's quite normal. We do. So even
this is probably going to blow up in my face. Yeah. But I'm going to take Pascal Lefrancois. You can root for your boy down at the bottom there for the Las Vegas Moneymakers.
Anthony is going to surprise us.
Yeah, I mean it's
winning the chips back with King Jack.
Yeah, maybe he might even sweep. And,
you're not winning 4 WPTs without a reason. 4, right? 3.
3 WPTs.
It's crazy.
And no one has won 4 WPTs.
Yeah, and he did well in a tournament in Amsterdam actually this year. Another WPT that I even didn't play in my kind of hometown, which I'm not happy with. I would love to win a WPT in Amsterdam or in Malta and EPT one day. So yeah, then you have to play them. But
yeah, well,
I'm playing online too much, I guess. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and Anthony Zinno isn't someone to be messed with. 3-time WPT champion, obviously knows what he's doing. Heads up. No one has won 4 WPTs. Incidentally, Darren Elias was going for his 4th WPT title yesterday, but fell short. That's the Darren Elias of the Sao Paulo Metropolitans, who
very good.
picked
he'll
up a.
He'll be there.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he'll be probably he'll have another shot at a 4th WPT. Just a reminder, the GPL can be accessed via Twitter @GPL, and also use the hashtag GPL to tweet along, and we like to follow those tweets. So let us know what you think of myself, what you think of Stephen, and if you like Stephen, maybe we'll get him back. I mean, do we have you next week? Who knows?
I must go back to my virtual poker tables as well. So
no,
but we'll never know.
I
I
mean,
like
yeah.
it. I like it. It's fun to do. So
well, let us know if it
I'll be back one day.
If it can't be Stephen. Who do you want? I mean, we had Jonathan Little weeks 1 and 2. We had
he did very well. Super analytical.
Laura Cornelius
breaking
in the booth.
completely.
Let us know which
nice
commentator you prefer, and you know the powers that be at the GPO will take.
And if
take
I walk
stock.
away, you can just do it here. We've talked a lot about poker in the last couple of days. You know enough now, right? Like heads up poker. It's not that difficult. 2 cards.
Require us slightly more time in the booth before I'm.
Okay.
Well, I mean, I can announce the cards. I'm really good at spotting gut shots.
Very, exactly. Very important in poker.
Never,
the evening is not over either.
Never
so,
miss a gut shot.
We're learning.
Yeah.
I'm learning to do commentary, and you're learning to play poker. I mean, yeah.
And I'm learning to do commentary and play poker. Yeah. Anyway, the GPL TV app. Just don't forget about that if you want to catch up on any game that's happened previously. Available on iOS and Android. And I hear we might be ready. So off to the game we go. Wow. There we go.
Good luck, Anthony.
Good luck, Pascal. Good luck, Anthony.
For the avoidance of confusion, that is Anthony Zinno on the left of your screen. Pascal Lefrancois on the right. And this should be an interesting game. Pascal Lefrancois is obviously a player with a very strong record. He's swept David Iketai, which I would imagine isn't easy to do.
You guys see me look on my left. I'm playing some tables on the side.
That's okay, Pascal.
On another computer.
Another computer, even. He doesn't look like the picture. He shaved off his hair, I think.
Yeah, which picture? Oh yeah. He's looking.
We showed earlier. Yeah.
Oh yeah, and he's looking more sort of.
There on top, I saw some hair, so it's still him. Very good. King high, king high. Boom. Well, they both share the same.
Just gonna check as well, I think here. Can make a case for betting, but I'll just check this time.
So far, we've been lucky with one player that wants to talk a bit more than the other, and it seems to be this much. So hopefully, we're going to get some good insights from Pascal Lefrancois.
Choppity chop chop in that first one.
He limped with the king 4 offsuit. That deep.
Pascal already starts breaking down Anthony's game, trying to analyze what he's doing.
Pretty interesting flop here. Zinno's flopped the best hand, but
checking
Pascal Lefrancois is the marginal favourite.
Yeah, kind of a difficult board to play or 2-pair.
Once again, both options are fine on the turn. But I like betting this time.
Zinno won't be going anywhere just yet.
Not much you can do either. I really don't see a reason to raise here.
Some crazy noises. It's not my fault. My dog is acting kind of crazy right now.
That's what they all say.
Not the first crazy dog of the night.
That's what they all say, Pascal. 6-3, 2-pair stays good. Yeah, a lot of potential difficult river decisions with a hand like 6-3 on that board, but Anthony managed to take it down quietly. Another limp from Anthony. Let's see if that continues.
I'm kind of surprised he's limping with like more than 100 big blinds. I definitely did not expect that. I'm gonna have to adjust.
What check?
Your raising is fine too. I'll just call. If I'm not completely sure what my opponent's strategy is, I'd rather like not get out of line too much at the beginning. Here I think we can definitely bet. I'm gonna go with 2/3.
Yeah, like Pascal said, some jacks you will raise. The stronger your jack is, the more you want to raise. This can check 10 can go both ways, I guess.
Pascal looks like he's just like got back from a cycle ride or something.
Yeah, looks like he's ready to play some poker.
Zinno doesn't look like he's been cycling today.
I don't know where he's playing from. He might.
He might be feeling a little under the weather, which might explain he's not looking as happy as he has done on other occasions.
Yeah.
Might be a little coldy.
If I would win 3 WPTs, I'd look quite happy for a couple of years, I think. It doesn't always work like that. There we go. We got a raise from Zinno this time. And he probably goes back to limping now because he got 3-bet.
He's not using just a limping strategy. So once again, I'll have to take that into consideration.
Pascal could see the stream and then see what type of hands Zinno decides to limp with. Well, he might raise others. That would be good information for him. I predict this is a raise for Zinno. Oh yeah, here next to his name is obviously the small picture. He has a lot more hair there, I think.
Yeah, he's gone, new image. He's taken up cycling. He's gone for a more clean cut look.
Yeah, a lot of poker players getting a more healthy image last couple of years. You need to be an athlete. That's why we sportify poker.
Yeah,
right?
I mean, that's why Pascal Lefrancois, he's in the he's wearing his he's got his sporty zip up on. He's on board with the initiative, that's for sure.
Yeah, or maybe he made some side bets with himself. Like, if I lose this match, I have to run 10 kilometers. Like,
yeah,
might be. Do a couple hundred push-ups. Value 3-bet from Zinno.
I mean, all we get is like one square of a player's life, so we just literally have to jump to conclusions based on like.
Well, that's what
that's
we're
a bit
good
like
at.
poker, yeah. It's a
Incomplete
bit like poker.
information.
Incomplete information.
No problemo for us. We make the decisions. Queen 3. Strong enough to raise. $300, $600, and within 1 minute we're going to 4,800.
No one really into fire off. We saw fireworks.
I'm pretty sure I could steal this pot. Actually,
yeah. Well, as I like to say here, this one probably won't make the highlights reel.
No.
That's
They're this uninterested.
That's the highlights team are.
Twice the pot. That works for Zinno. I'm gonna watch his sizings, see if I can spot some patterns there. I know Pascal will do exactly the same.
Got shot for Pascal Lefrancois.
Some runner,
Oh.
diamond, Can go all ways, I guess. I mean, you can bet, but you're definitely gonna get some calls from
Anthony.
Zinno.
Bet here. Checking would be fine, but with the 9 of diamonds, I block a ton of his check raise and combos, and so I'd rather bet with the 9 of diamonds in that spot. So. Go ahead and bet again.
Yeah, 9 high is not going to win very often at Showdown. So we might
Feels like
just as
a
well bluff.
yes, and feels like pretty good timing here against Zinno's exact holding.
But most of my good jack.
Full pot. A lot of draws, so you have definitely some reasons
That's
to bet
pot.
strong. With strong hands as well.
Yeah.
Queen. There it is.
Oh.
There's the king. So the action will be relatively friendly.
We're going to be a chop if we do get to Showdown. Zinno picks up a flush draw though.
Yeah, it can be a spade.
Could lead him to put in a few chips.
Go ahead and
Goes for
call.
half pot.
Interesting bet from Zinno. I don't see a lot of reasons to bet here. It's not like he's going to get a lot of calls from worse hands. There's some, but also some better. So check would be fine as well with this.
Pretty thin here
Low
from
flush draw.
Zinno. Chop it up.
Yeah, bet small on the turn, so then he wants a call from a jack on the river. That's probably fine. With a flush blocker.
With a flush blocker.
Three high.
Yeah, not a hand there.
We haven't seen too many 3-bets so far. Let's see if the guys will ramp up the aggression a bit more, as Jason Wheeler would say it.
Yeah, I mean, by this time already, Jason Mercier probably it was like two.
Wheeler.
Jason Wheeler was like 2 games down in this amount of time.
Yeah.
He was just ready to fire.
He's always
Yeah,
ready to fight.
And I know Boston had put some.
Those combos, but my opponent hasn't
Boom.
shown me that he's holding some buttons, so
There we go.
I tried to exploit that here.
Pretty crappy hand, but well, if you succeed often enough with the bluff, then you don't have to play a flop anyway, so Pascal puts it in his big 3-bet range. Anthony not too happy with folding his ace. He might bluff it right back at Pascal. There you go.
Oh,
and
Zinno
not with
ready
a small
to
sizing.
ready to tangle with the ace-6.
I'm kind of curious what he would have done against the shove there.
Yeah,
because
very
it
interesting. Yeah.
was 15.8, something like that. So he didn't have that much behind. It's interestingly big sizing. With these stacked depth, you can also just go to like 13 or something. It's already pretty effective in position.
Yeah.
It's very hard to play back at with that stack depth for the out of position 3
I would
better.
definitely fold those type of hands if he would raise bigger than min, but against a min raise, it's really tough to fold in the big blind, especially when your opponent hasn't shown you that he's folding his buttons.
Small straight for Zinno, up and down, straight draw.
Yeah. The 4 straight. Quite as good as the 5 straight, but good enough.
Some games. Yeah. I like this hand. One of my favorites, 8-6 suited. So many opportunities to bluff and to make beautiful disguised value hands.
Ah, yeah.
Especially in position. Really strong. This might be costly for Zinno. Again, we see Anthony limp with a pretty bad hand. We haven't seen him limp many stronger hands, so that might be a potential problem for his limping range. And Pascal is trying to figure it out, I'm pretty sure. Anthony might be trying to fool us though, and trap us later with a good hand.
Yeah, not a sort of huge kind of array of action in this early couple of levels.
We were starting it off very calmly, but you know, it's poker, and fireworks are just around the corner.
Oh yes.
Boom!
Boom! There
Flush
it is.
draw.
That's one of those, one of the smaller fireworks that
Yeah,
just
they both have a
prelude
flush
to
draw,
the main event.
7 of spades. Watch me.
Backdoor, flush draw, backdoor, stick, straight draws.
Yeah, he's not falling. Well, he might actually. It's not that good of a hand for 8. Yeah, good of a flop for 8 for spades. He goes for it. He's hoping for the 7 of spades on the turn. Definitely one of the
Zinno will
lighter
not be
3 bets.
Going
Check raises.
anywhere. Interesting.
It's a pretty bad card for us.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm gonna check.
Still got live pair outs.
I'd rather continue with bluffs that have more equity on the turn.
Wouldn't surprise me if
This
Anthony would bet here.
one against his range as doesn't have much equity.
It does surprise me.
Hanskin on Twitch, skipping the Thursday thrill to pursue the dream of commentary, Stephen.
I am. I mean, you never know. Might be a new career.
I could consider betting,
How,
but I'm just gonna check here.
I haven't. Well, yeah, normally I do play it. I
how,
mean, I
how often
shouldn't
do you
always
skip
play.
the? How often do you skip the Thursday thrill?
Nah, pretty often. I should focus on a lot of
I feel
mistakes too. Less
Those
variance.
spots your opponent kind of looks you up too light sometimes.
It's not like I've been winning that much online last half year, so it's always good to reduce the variance a bit and play the biggest games when you are running hot. But still, I most of the time just click it and then sell a bunch of action, whatever. I just like the tournament a lot. That's true.
What's the buy-in for the Thursday thrill?
That's a 1K,
1K,
with
yeah.
bounties, so yeah. And it's pretty soft, especially for that buy-in. So I just like to gamble as well sometimes. Well, if it's a good gamble.
I'm gonna try to show down around.
Well, Pascal, you might not get that chance. I was gonna say Anthony made some big value bets.
Here I have to call some, fold some. I will call this time.
Pay the man his money.
Anthony Zinno, 2-1 chip lead. Oh, more, less,
Boom.
Oh.
No, more.
more.
We're playing 6-12, so it's already action time. 10-9 suited, looks like a decent hand. Limped this time by Anthony. So the hands he's limping with are getting stronger. That's good to see. Makes his limping range a bit more balanced than only limping with bad hands. Kind of an interesting but understandable raise from Pascal, because he perceives Anthony's limping range as pretty weak by now. Although he probably doesn't have the stream open, I'm not sure. But
Pretty sweet flop here for Zinno to continue. There it is.
wow, not the best board for Pascal, because of the limping range of Anthony. Will have a lot of hands that connect with this board.
I think we're gonna bet the turn and probably shove on a river.
Uh-oh. That sounds very expensive, but yeah, we can see the cards, so that's easy for us to see, but definitely not a weird decision with your straight blocker.
So as long as Anthony Zinno just calls here, he will be getting the rest on the river.
On some rivers for sure.
Maybe
Might
not
be
this
one
one.
of them. I mean, Anthony also has like a lot of Jack X hand that he
Here
might
we're
fold.
gonna go again then. Jam all in.
We're jamming.
I
We're
think it's
jamming.
one of the good bluffs I can have here. And I have 0 showdown value. So gonna go
Anthony,
ahead and jam.
Anthony casually looking the other way.
Our value range is super wide too in that spot.
Snap.
Oh,
That's one
there.
for Anthony Zinno and the Las Vegas Moneymakers.
It's
1
not too
point,
good
3
against the
points
nuts.
actually. One game.
Oh
Yeah.
well, you know what they say, Stephen. Sometimes they have it.
And sometimes they don't. But
Yeah,
this
on
time,
this occasion, yeah,
Well,
yeah,
one of them had it and the other one did not.
yeah.
So, yeah. That's poker.
Sometimes
Fun as you
you
see.
find a
I
nice.
think they need some time to warm up. It started really slowly and now it's firing up. I think we will see this high-end energy level continue in the second match, in the second
Yeah,
game.
I mean, really nice start for Anthony Zinno there. I mean, the kind of the chips came to him more
Grinding it
than anything
down.
else. Yeah, I mean, pretty cagey during the early exchanges.
Yeah, the first couple limbs were kind of weird or weakish. Like you start limping some really trashy hands with like more than 100 big blinds. Pascal was also like, what does that
Yeah,
mean? Like,
70% an eyebrow raised or
I mean,
two.
if you don't like your hand, you don't want to play it, you can fold it. And probably if it's that crappy and it doesn't flop that well, you kind of want the initiative to make people fold. Like with the jack deuce, it's playable, but why limp it? It's not that strong in catching a flop. You can limp like jack 8. I would prefer that over a limp with jack deuce.
And Pascal there.
But who am I?
Well, Pascal Lefrancois there elected to play 9 deuce fairly sort of, with the 3 barrel, sort of almost sort of thought or knew on the turn what he was going to do. Do you get the way he played that hand? I mean, for me, it seemed a little.
Like he said, you have to bluff some stuff there. He has no showdown value. He has a blocker to the straight. He knows Zinno is going to fold quite a decent portion of his range. Probably going to call off like decent top pairs, maybe bad top pairs, and probably folding a lot of second pairs already. So, and he's going to have a lot of those, like Jack X hand in his limp calling range pre-flop. So
Well,
makes sense. Not that weird. Not super
Oh
superior
yeah, I
or
mean, no,
anything.
it was. I mean,
No.
when I thought the 4 of spades was a bit of a blanky kind of river card that.
It is, but that
makes,
also,
possibly makes Zinno more likely to call.
Yeah, but it looks strong as well. So
Yeah,
it's not
Well,
like
there we
he's
go.
always bluffing all his holdings. So
that's
we go.
why we have Stephen Van Zadelhoff in the booth to explain to me why we things that happen. And off we go, game 2. Pascal Lefrancois has switched to the left-hand side.
You can see that Entry is really interested in the second game because he put his nose on the monitor. He's taking it back. Looking for points here. And there we go. We're seeing Pascal make some light check raise already. This would also be very light. He could still do it against this sizing if he doesn't want to peel. I don't think he likes folding too many hands here for 400 chips. So there you go. Picks up some more equity. Anthony now pretty much only can make a 5 fold. So he can also check and take his equity with this medium flush draw and gut shot and overcard. Decides to full pot it. Pascal has a lot better hands than this one to call now because of the big size. So he's not too happy. Trying to puzzle out what Anthony is doing.
I mean, Pascal's options. Does he have all 3 options available to him here, or is this call or? Okay, yeah.
Apparently he does. I was gonna say, I don't know.
I mean, I felt like he could do all 3. That's why I kind of asked
obviously.
the question. I wasn't sure. I thought.
Yeah,
sometimes
I think it's all 3 pretty close. I mean, he correctly read Anthony to be weak with his pot bet. He might have paid attention in earlier hands because Anthony did this before with a drawish hand, I think.
gut shot for Zinno.
And it's kind of hard to call with a hand that's that medium, like medium flush draw, medium chance to like a straight, because if your opponent has a better diamond than you do, you're still gonna lose some money. So yeah, then sometimes raise is even better than just a call.
Against half pot here, we have to call.
Has the best hand.
Yep.
Still has the best hand.
Feels like he has a good feel for heads up play. Probably played a lot heads up. Well, you want a bracelet, heads up.
I have a bunch of backdoor flush in my range, but I cannot raise all my blockers combo.
Yeah. Pascal won a bracelet in 2010. Defeated Max Steinberg, heads up. That's a former November Niner.
In a 1500, no limit.
Yep,
Hold'em.
1,500.
So he knows what he's doing.
Got a second in the WPT. 7th in the PCA.
Here we see another one of those weak hand limps from Zinno on the 200, 400 level. And Pascal actually has a hand that plays pretty well with initiative, so he's thinking of ramping up the aggression. And there he goes, 4.5x. I can't blame him. Seems to be working, so yeah. Anthony by now should try to defend his limping range by putting in some small or some strong hands. So yeah. Or of course raise his bad hands. Seems to be a bit unbalanced here. Would be nice to see him trap later on.
Yeah, I mean, maybe he's setting up something for game 3.
I'm ready for some nice big
traps. A surprise attack.
This is not particularly the hand Pascal is probably gonna lose the money with. Backdoor equity for both. Really mediocre flop.
Okay, we're gonna try to hit the board a little more.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Fireworks, Pascal, fireworks. We are ready.
I mean, if you're not hitting the board hard enough, just try harder.
I feel he has a good control over the game so far. So if I were him, I would just keep grinding like he's grinding, which he probably is gonna do. I see no reason for him to change his game plan. This is a fun matchup.
9-10 suited. Everyone's
fair match.
Favorite suited
connectors. Fair fight. Still quite a fair fight, I would say. Yeah, 10-9 suited looks so strong. So many opportunities to win the hand.
We have a decent c-betting hand here with 10-9, tons of backdoor. But we're definitely not calling it checkers.
That's one of them. A jack for the straight.
Anthony has picked up the 7-high club draw.
Yeah, the clubs are kind of worrying if you have a hand like this, like the 10-9 of spades from Pascal. Sometimes you keep barreling and you get called or not, and you don't really know where you are if you do get called because of the clubs that you don't have. Even if you hit your straight, you're sometimes very dead already. So.
Close to all over 8x, most of a bunch of king x too.
I bet we're going to see a 3-bet here from Pascal, and I'm curious to see how Anthony is going to react. Depends on the sizing Pascal chooses, probably. 8x 3-bet, not unusual. They're not super deep anymore, but still.
Such a big sizing. Can't really do much here.
No, that's the thing. Anthony doesn't have to do too much against this sizing.
Have to start limping, I think. He's gonna
Interesting.
make it 4x.
Slightly surprising there.
No shame in
It was a very big
Yeah,
size.
the sizing was big. I don't really.
Or 4x my sizing.
I feel like certain players we've seen tonight would have elected just to peel there in position.
Oh yeah, you can still call. It's probably close against this sizing. It's still a hand that flops pretty well and that plays pretty well.
Yeah.
Boom, there we go. Setup.
The big setup we've been waiting for, guys.
7 deuce, suited.
Sorry guys, but I can't fold suited combos against a min raise. Heads up.
No apologies needed, Pascal.
And he flops the best hand.
Gonna have
Deuce.
to play this beautiful hand.
Deuce 7 suited.
Gonna go ahead and bet for protection.
Equity denial, as we say it
And for
nowadays.
value.
Equity denied.
Well, not yet. And Anthony might actually try to peel his equity. Pretty close, I guess. Without a hard blocker, you're gonna have the best hand against some flush draws as well. So. Now this hand, I wouldn't mind folding myself. It's pretty nice to be suited. Heads up. Gives you.
And
some
he
extra
avoided
opportunities.
the Anthony Zinno memorial hand.
Now this was King Queen.
King Jack is the that was King Jack for Pascal.
Last hand, he had King Queen. Are you willing to lose another $10 here? I'm not 100% sure.
Hand 15. I'll wait for it to
I'm
come
not
on.
100% sure, but pretty close to 100%.
I think it was King Jack. I'm ready. I'm willing to
Sure,
double or quits.
$5.
At the time.
$5. All right,
$5.
go on then.
Boom.
Hand 15. We're looking for.
Thanks for donation.
Okay.
Yeah, Anthony was a bit sick, you said, right?
Consider check
Yeah.
raising 9-10.
Yeah, he's been under the
9.
weather.
Well, props for him for showing up anyway. Two pair, but not on the best board. Big sizing from Anthony here. Pascal might be able to escape. I can also understand if he calls. I mean, we've seen Anthony
I
choose
feel
the
like
sizing a bit.
he can be betting a bunch of ace high on the turn, which is pretty bad for me here. So I can definitely not fold all my 9x, 8x there. I guess I'll just fold this time.
Then
It's
5,
a
no
little-
shame in
Fine, no
folding.
good.
That's maybe a little bit too loose to open, but I
Yeah.
feel like my
Oh,
opponent
hello.
isn't playing much out of position so far.
Yeah, well, hello 5 high.
I mean, when Zeno's in the house, you always know that he could limp even the junkiest of hands.
Yeah, okay, but then he's probably still folding against the obvious raise from Pascal. So Zeno did limp, and I wouldn't mind a fold even after the limp. For this price, calling is not even that bad. Or
I'm gonna hope
anything.
he's gonna limp raise this time.
Yeah, do it. I want to see that.
Fortunately, he folds.
You can probably choose some better hands for that. I wouldn't mind. 500, 1,000. 41 big blinds effectively. And you know what that means?
It means,
We're gonna grind some more.
yeah, we're going to grind a bit more. Might see a few more limps.
Yeah, it's not the most aggressive game we've seen tonight, for sure.
No.
Which is definitely not always a bad thing.
Probably the best flop we had so far. Definitely don't have a monster, but we'll be calling at least 1 or 2 streets, I hope.
Not the best turn for Pascal. And Anthony might decide that his hand is so weak that he wants to bluff it. But he doesn't have to on the river.
Go ahead and check.
That's how he does it. That's how you win 3 WPTs.
And we'll be willing to call
Rough.
also our opponent's bet.
Anything up to? Everything has its price, they say, right?
They do.
I feel
I mean,
the
Zinno should just
maximum price for Pascal is around 6,000 here.
Oh.
Yeah, he will probably call.
Pays it off.
Yeah,
That gut shot.
straight.
That
Pascal
gut
not
shot.
happy here. Yeah, what can you do, Pascal? You can just focus on playing good poker. This
Oh,
is
yeah, Flop could see some
somewhat
action.
interesting.
The unfortunately the real firework card, the 8 of hearts, is in Pascal's hand.
Yeah, that's true. Pascal might check sometimes here. Can bet, definitely.
So we call the nuts.
Yeah. Now the question is, how much can Anthony Zinno afford to lose with this hand?
Hope you got something, Anthony, because it's gonna hurt.
It's not going to hurt too badly.
This hand is known as
And
the
that's
nuts.
The 8 of, well, the 8 peels.
Yeah, an 8. That's what Anthony's looking for. Well, he's not looking for it. He can fold also on this board. I mean, you have some outs against some of the hands of Pascal, but you're also dead against another portion of his range. And that's exactly the part of his range that he has. So, good fold, I think, by Anthony. You seem to have some outs, but...
No, well, Pascal Lefrancois has the confirmed Anthony Zinno memorial hand.
he doesn't move all his chips in, though. Not yet.
I mean, it's destined to happen, though. He's destined to bust with or to King Jack off.
No, I think he's going to win with it.
We're gonna try to keep the pace of winning 80% of the pot, and hopefully something good will happen.
Well, if you keep doing that your lifetime, a lot of good things will happen, I think.
We are following the chat, guys, so get your thoughts in the Twitch chat. Shout out Shockwave9.
A very
Here
controlled
I was
pot here.
going to delay my hand. I'll bet
Let's go.
almost river.
There's a lot
That's
of
a really good
probabilities.
one for us.
Okay, so we could be clarifying the confusion in our previous conversation. Zinno did have King Queen in hand 14, but I was talking about Pascal Lefrancois in hand 15. Which is why I wrote.
Well, you can write it
Oh,
down.
it's
You can write it down from your credit in that case. You
Oh,
still,
yeah.
you still owe me a couple of beers.
there we go. King Jack in the hand of Pascal Lefrancois, hand 15. I've reduced my debt a tiny
very
bit.
good, very good.
We were just talking about different hands.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
that's
No,
probably
but
where
I mean, you were right if that hand was later, so that's fine. You only owe me a couple beers.
yeah. Oh no. Well, I mean, I pay my debts. Don't worry. We've still got the outcome of this match to settle things up, I suppose. Unless we see you, unless you make a return to the.
I'm always ready to gamble. Deuce for another limp with a weekend and another raise from Pascal Lefrancois, I'm pretty sure, with the King Jack. Yeah, this must be a pattern that both players can see now, that Anthony is limping a lot of weak hands and has to fold a lot after he limps. I'm pretty sure Pascal has seen it so far. But okay, he picks up King Jack, then it's kind of an easy race. Anthony getting naughty here with a 7 high. Looks like he's gonna raise. There he goes. Pretty close.
Usually I would be happy to call against that sizing with that hand, but my opponent hasn't 3-bet much so far. I guess I'm still gonna call.
Bottom pair for Anthony Zinno.
On a board that his 3-bet range hits pretty well. Lots of decent ace combos in his range, as well as ace king, obviously.
It's tricky.
And a bunch of those hands Pascal does not have anymore.
I feel like he's not checking very often to check fold there. I block queens, which you would consider fold. If I bet, I'll just check.
Anthony taking his time before checking in. Kind of communicating he has a mediocre hand here. But yeah, I figured that it also includes like a lot of king x hands. He could play this way, and then he's not always just gonna surrender, so Pascal is not unnecessarily spewy here.
Definitely consider betting if he checks on that street. I revert a couple of 2 pairs, and I don't think he's gonna call me with 8s to 10s. If I bet like something like 9,000, which I would bet with king 10, king queen. Obviously, king
Good
jack.
work, yeah. Nice
Nice analysis
Nice
from
analysis.
Pascal there. He waited long enough with bluffing. Good example of why you don't always have to bluff when you can, because you can also do it later and it might be more effective. As it was right here.
We've already seen Pascal comment that he doesn't fold anything suited to a min race, but that's 9-3 off. Probably one of the few hands he's actually going to give up to a min race.
Allowed to fold.
Yeah.
$800, $1,600. We're playing a little over 20 big blinds for Anthony Zinno. Probably likes this hand enough to raise.
Interesting that Zinno's stuck with the min raise policy, staying true.
Nah, he's still limping bad hands, I think.
Oh yeah, but only not 2.5xing.
Ah, yeah, sorry, yeah. No, with this stack depth, it doesn't make a lot of sense to raise too big.
Check and try to show down our hand.
Pascal
Hopefully win the showdown.
hoping he can win a showdown, but he kind of feels probably that's not gonna be a winner too often.
This little pot goes over the way of Anthony Zinno. He's to just under 40,000. This is hand 29. This is match 145 of the GPL. 3 weeks left after tonight before we head off to the Cube,
Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, Nevada. For the playoffs, $100,000 to the winning franchise. Montreal's
close to 100% range here. With those stack size, he would rejam a bunch of ace-x. So we have all our ace-x in our range. He doesn't have a ton of those. especially with that hand, we're going to be able to call most of his check raises.
Pascal, just with a gut shot here.
I think he's gonna bet at least one more time, and he might actually decide to bet 2 more times. Because like he said, Anthony doesn't have too many strong hands. Anthony actually picking up a pair.
Pascal.
With those stack, I'd rather be continuing with those 8-7, 6-7, and the hands that I don't have any showdown than, let's say, King Jack on that board.
Zinno is tempted with his second pair and a gut shot.
And that's a turn that I could continue with a ton of my range. I would be betting most of my queen X on that turn too. So my value range is really wide, so I can be bluffing a lot too.
Oh.
Boom. Striking bluff. Works this time because Pascal had 8 high. Anthony already had like a decent pair and some extra equity. So
is it possible he was worried about the spot that he'd be putting on the river? If he calls 8,000 there, he's just got about pot-sized bet behind.
Yeah, this is the same spot we were talking about earlier.
Spot for,
that people want to prevent a difficult river spot. Well, Pascal did say he would bet like most of his queens there. Would have been very curious what he would have done with those against this check raise, because Anthony still wouldn't have had like very many aces. So then Pascal probably would still feel pretty strong. There we go. You got what you wanted. Action on King Jack.
Zinno. Playing the Zinno Memorial hand. 3-betting it and taking down the pot. Picking up another good hand. No. Pascal already indicated he doesn't fold suited cards to min raise. But I'm not sure this stack deck might. No, it's going to.
No, I wouldn't. It's good enough.
The best hand here with the couple of backdoor possibilities.
7 deuce, 6 deuce. Before you know it, you'll have a flush. Okay, we got a French translator on the stream, please.
Eric Denis, your time has come.
I think Pascal just ordered a hamburger. Or maybe I'm getting hungry. No, we just actually had quite a lot of food.
Interestingly, Lefrancois translates as the Frenchman.
Something like that, right?
I don't know. Possibly. Could be.
Top against 2 pair.
Yes, this could spell trouble for Zinno, because
it's a turn that I'm most probably I'm definitely gonna check shove against most of his sizing. We need a ton of protection.
Yeah, this board is too dynamic for Pascal to flat. Too many nasty rivers. And Zinno decides not to bet his top pair top kicker, which is kind of striking decision.
Yeah, that's pretty surprising. I seemed like that was going to go bet, shove, call.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that could easily have gone that way. Good read from Zinno, maybe. Yeah, gonna be
Quick call by Zinno there, and a nice pot for Pascal Lefrancois. But Zinno actually pretty fortunate.
He saved a lot of chips.
Not fortunate, sorry.
Well, unfortunate turn, but he saved a lot of chips here.
Yeah, no, wise in not betting the turn.
By not betting. I don't know if it was the best decision in the long run, but it definitely saved him a lot of chips here. I mean, Pascal can also get it in with like worse hands. He has like a very strong hand with his ace-9 there. So 40 more seconds, and then we're going to the next level, 1224.
with those stack size, I think it can be tricky betting too many hands like this one.
Hard to fold with a pair.
It's gonna be really, really tough to fold.
Francois, thinking about value here, I would suggest.
Probably, definitely not a bluff. So yeah, if he's betting, he's hoping for a call from worse.
Yeah, I think we have some value here. I don't expect him to snap check a 8x on the river.
And he doesn't have any higher pairs because those would have given action pre-flop. Good rate from Pascal there, I guess.
Zinno down to about 11 big blinds here, so I imagine this King 9 will be okay. Well,
yeah.
I might cease to make predictions.
No, I mean, it's actually a hand you can raise call against very loose aggressive opponents. Might actually make you more profit than just jamming. And against tight opponents you can check raise fold.
I don't know exactly my opponent's strategy with those stack size. I think against a bunch of opponents could be fine just folding against him in raise with that hand, because I have to admit it's a little suspicious, but yeah, once again, I don't know exactly my opponent's strategy.
Possibly a little unconventional there by Zinno to min raise with 11 bigs.
Especially considering that he didn't raise like all his hands.
Nice trap here from
Like to go
Lefrancois.
crazy against our first limp, and that's exactly what happened here.
Safe flop for Pascal.
It was my first limp of the match.
Oh, and a dagger to the heart.
Costly turn.
And ace or a jack needed for Lefrancois. There it is.
Wow. Okay.
There it is.
Okay.
Suck
okay.
and then resuck.
1-1 that is.
Pascal Lefrancois pulls things up. Pulls things 1-1 there for the Montreal Nationals. Not very often they go 2-0 down in a game on the GPL. And a pretty nice trap there. Pascal picked up ace jack, limped in, and Anthony.
I like it.
Do you like Anthony's rip with the 8-9 off there? About 13, 14 big blinds?
No, it's not weird. It's not super bad or whatever. But I mean, it's a hand that flops pretty well, and you might get trapped. Depends on how you estimate the chance that your opponent is trapping, and you might underestimate that here. I like the limp a lot with ace jack. It's a hand that flops great if you do not get like the all-in pre-flop. It doesn't matter if you play a limp pot. So you're actually dominating a lot of jack 5-ish hands that just decided to check on your limp. So it plays really well.
Well, Pascal Lefrancois back in that game, just to reiterate what we said at the top of the show. A win for the Montreal Nationals in this matchup by any margin, i.e. 6-3 or a sweep, which we're not going to see, will guarantee them a playoff spot for the playoffs at the end of November. 3 days.
Good job.
Yeah, nice job by the Montreal Nationals. They look like they're in a good chance for those bonus chips, that 30% chip bonus that will be going to the winning side from each conference, and the 20% and 10% bonus, respectively, going to the second and third place side. So they're in a great position. Really makes everything to play for, even after a team have locked up their place at the playoff final. Those bonus chips means that teams who have already secured their spot can still have plenty to play for in those bonus chips.
Of course. And there we go. Last game. The deciding game.
The decider.
Or well, in Canadian, French-Canadian, there would be le jeu décisif.
Le jeu décisif. If you're wrong, Eric Denis will, I'm sure,
my French
correct
is
you.
a bit rusty. I've had some French in school a long time ago. King-Queen. There we go. See, I was right. King-Queen. Value 3-bet from Anthony Zinno. I like it. Kind of a close decision for Pascal. He would probably always call like 8-6 suited type of hands, and this one is like,
I like to call
very deep.
With that hand, but
can go.
Since he 3-bet me like twice in like the 2 first match, I'll just go ahead and fold.
Not weird at all.
Trying to work out how much I owe you.
Yeah.
I think you won 10. You won 10 euros for Dominic Nietzsche. You won
Yes.
5 euros for João Bauer.
There you
Minus
go.
5 euros for the.
The
We're
King
back to 10
Queen.
euros. This is a.
Oh, is it? Yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
And this, so yeah, I mean, this,
My
this
math is not very good. My French is better than my math. Yeah. $10, not bad. It's like 3 or 4 pints here
Well,
in Malta, I guess.
I mean, it's either going to be
you
0
check-
or $20.
Yep.
I'm actually suspicious because he checked so quickly on the flop. Now he pots.
Pot. I don't think
I'll just
Pascal's
peel one,
folding, actually.
but I'm definitely gonna fold against the river bet.
Good river for Pascal because Anthony probably can check now. Anthony feels rivered. Gonna stretch my legs here a bit behind the desk.
We like our guest hosts to be comfortable, Stephen. I mean, if you want to take off some clothes, feel free.
Not yet. It is getting
I'll
warmer
put them in the
here.
I'll put them in the cloakroom for you.
Can take off a sock if you really want to.
Your French has been praised by Eric Denis.
Merci, monsieur. Pascal Lefrancois with top pair.
Interesting. that Pascal Lefrancois means the Frank and not the Frenchman. God, we learn so
Frank.
much on this
The Frank
show,
one.
Stephen, don't we?
The free one, the Frank.
The Frank. Maybe it's from the days of the.
It's hard not to learn a lot from a guy that knows everything, like Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially anything relating to Canada or people from Canada.
Or
Or the language, or
poker
the French
stat-
language, or poker.
Poker statistics.
Yes.
Exactly. Top pair again for Pascal. A merged bet by Anthony with a second pair. Not all too weird on a board where Pascal can give a lot of action with worse hands. So. Two pair. And Anthony better don't bet again. Oops.
Oops.
He did it again.
Um,
Yeah, Pascal not
yeah,
going
and
anywhere.
Anthony with the 5% hand, and
That's like 100% hand here for Pascal.
and
Now Anthony better stop betting.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Pascal may have
Pascal-
felt that Anthony was as strong as a king there.
Oh, he's hoping for that. Pascal, the look on Pascal's face is also like, he bet that. I think that's why he looked that way.
Yeah, so Pascal not expecting Anthony to bet that particular hand.
I don't like
probably,
that bet on the turn.
Leading Pascal to think that Anthony had a stronger holding than he did.
Yeah, no. Poker is a game of a lot of different ranges that all have to make sense, and you also want to have quite some decent hands to make calls on the river if opponents attempt to bluff you. And this exact hand was a very nice candidate to put in the range to make a call on the river. So, yeah, a bet on the turn doesn't do that much good. Pascal cannot really pay a lot with worse hands, and a part of those hands would have paid on the river anyway, so you really don't have a lot of incentive to bet a hand that's that mediocre. It does better to just take it to the river.
Take it to the river. I don't even know what I'm singing.
don't know.
Yeah, very. Apologies,
I mean,
folks. That was
if the games are a bit slow, like in the beginning, which is fine, and we can do other stuff. We can sing in between.
we've sung.
We have sung. Sing, sang, sung. See? They're still there.
Sing, sang, sung.
Hang, hung, hung.
God, imagine having to learn English in a school. There's so many things that don't make sense.
It's a long time ago. 25 years ago, literally, probably. No, that's a bit too much.
Is
But
this
it's
hand going to
pretty
make
close.
the? Is this hand going to make the highlights reel, Stephen?
No, then we wouldn't be talking about hang, hang, hung, swim, swam, swum.
Ich habe, Sie haben, habt.
Du für ohne
I
Nachdenken.
learned German, and I'm guessing it's pretty similar to Dutch, so maybe you'll know what I'm talking
Yeah,
about.
that's not your first mistake of the evening. Anthony is
Ooh.
explaining us something.
Here we're gonna go in and bet to dodge the chop. It's definitely a good run out for us. and you should be folding like everything that's a chop.
I'm not sure.
At
Anthony
least.
would have followed a king here.
Non sur penny, je pense que.
I mean, like nothing. He did. He had the queen. He folded the ace chop. So yeah, very nice bet by Pascal.
Quoi? Ok.
2 pairs with the ace kicker.
C'est quoi là?
I would have expected a call there every now and then. Yeah. Good read by Pascal.
On va prendre la line big free.
Anthony Zinno, king 10.
Just gonna feel here with 8-9 off. Once again, his sizing is not really big, so
Again, there's a perfect hand to check for Anthony.
I don't like folding
Take it to
most
the
of my
river.
medium strength hand.
I live by the river.
And another bet from Anthony where he could also have decided to check. He just likes the high c-bet frequency strategy. And it worked out this time because Pascal had 9 high.
This game is locked at 1 each between the Montreal Nationals, represented by Pascal Lefrancois, and Anthony Zinno with his very own memorial hand of the Las Vegas Moneymakers. I mean, it's a dominating hand, so perhaps
We can ramp up the aggression.
I mean, perhaps we can turn things around. I mean, maybe he can become his revival hand.
Yep, that's what I predicted actually, right? He was going to win chips with King Jack. Well, it might very well happen this hand because I don't think Pascal is not going to call. He will probably see a flop. Looks like he's thinking of a bluff, but I don't know. Good work, this hand.
Yeah, I mean, pretty interesting spot if he does elect to 4-bet. Gonna make the call.
Yeah, it's a hand that does pretty well against 3-bet, so it's not super happy. You prefer to be suited or to have Jack 10 to be a bit more connected, but it's alrightish, I guess. We are playing with antes.
We are.
Once again, the hand is really close to be a fold. I would fold Jack 8 off, but just like I would the previous hand, I would fold 7-9 off. But things against those sizing, that's probably the bottom of my calling range.
Boom. Not a good card for Pascal. It's gonna make at least 1 bet difference in the amount of money he loses. Well, he could have bluffed in the case that a jack wouldn't have come off, but now he's gonna make a passive investment.
Clear call on the turn.
9 needed. 9 ball.
Let's hope he's not going crazy on the river, because I'll probably be folding.
Well, you save money anyway.
Yeah. We can get a little bit.
I don't see any reason at all for Anthony to bet anyway, but okay. Fair enough.
We can keep in tradition and drop our neutrality in the final game, especially as it's set up nicely for our little wager.
Yeah, it's not looking good for me.
Oh,
Or,
the
wait,
stacks
I'm
are level.
ahead.
Stacks are level.
Yeah, I'm ahead like 1,000 points, yeah. For $10, right? Fair enough.
Well, I mean, yeah, I'm indebted to you for 10, and this could be 20 by the end of this game, or we could be quits.
No, I feel 20. I feel lucky today. I've been on top of my predictions so far.
Ah, you've destroyed me. I mean, the only one I won from you was a sort of technicality. I think you were just looking at the previous hand.
I was very professional doing the commentary, so I could not pay attention. Well, yeah. No, I was probably taking a sip of water.
It was a
I do
hand.
that a lot.
It was a hand number to. Yeah, you enjoy sips of water.
It's pretty
that's for
warm
sure.
here, so it's alright.
D'aller chier, mais il dit que moi je donne toutes ces bêtes, je me le donne.
Action time. Dominated.
Oh yeah,
suited
both
six.
with a suited 6.
Pascal, let us laugh too. What's the joke? There we go.
Oui,
We're
il dit deux
going to
cas,
the
là,
flop.
c'est une série au complet. Là.
Oui, monsieur.
Il dit que je vais lui donner son bet s'il y a une line qui est dégueulasse, c'est tout. Kathleen Milton.
Take it. Anthony
Sorry,
really
guys.
does not like checking.
I was talking to my friend about inducing my boy Sam Chartier to take a bad bet against me.
Forgiven.
Well, we like side bets. That's all right. No shame in side betting.
Ah, we have a comment from Pseudonym 3. I think it's nice that a Viking has decided to take time off from pillaging villages in order to commentate on the GPL. How many villages have you pillaged recently, Stephen van Zadelhoff?
Like I said, you thought I was bragging. It wasn't meant to be bragging. I play a lot of small tournaments as well, and so I know I can win like at least something every day, you know. So I win a little tournament every now and then.
I mean,
Every
this
couple
guy's been
days.
suggesting
That's
you've been pillaging villages. I mean, you know, like stealing them,
I like the
stealing,
expression.
you know, assaulting their women and you know.
Oh, I thought
Like
we were.
folded his button
I
like
thought we were making a comparison
twice or
for
three
poker
times in
tables.
like 3 games, and like I had queens, queen jack suited, and I don't know.
Well, I mean, pillaging villages in this case might be a metaphor for poker, but
I thought so. I thought it was.
Oh, I mean, I thought I'd ask you: have you literally like pillaged anyone, or
Who knows?
well, there
Some
you go.
people know. I'm not implying a yes here.
Pillaged. I don't know.
I like the
Moster.
expression. Sounds pretty
Pillaged
strong.
Moster only last week.
Getting to
Marcel
put that hand on
Scala.
the flop.
Bye.
That was the week before.
Yeah.
Strong holding here for Zinno.
Pascal looking puzzled already.
Zinno with a nice little bit of momentum in this final game. Edged into the chip lead.
Yeah, blinds are up to 500, 1,000 now, so we're playing 43 big blind, deep poker.
The stack size. I defended with that hand earlier, but with those stack size, I don't mind folding
It's a
it.
really crappy hand. I agree with Pascal's fault.
This is a bit of a cooler.
Yeah, I mean, Pascal will probably see a flop if Anthony doesn't decide to go like absurdly huge. Because I think we can be pretty sure he's going to 3-bet.
We've seen in the past hands that he's increased his 3-bet percentage a lot,
Uh-oh.
especially in the last game. I don't know if it was just card dead, but against his new tendencies, like even if it was pretty tight, I wouldn't really consider folding ace-8 offsuit against that sizing.
Whoa!
Oh!
Oh dear, oh dear. It's, oh.
36 big blinds, no shame in putting that in pretty dead for Pascal. And
Any more eights
I
about?
mean, I can start screaming for an
Any
8, but I
eights
really
about?
don't see a lot happening here than Pascal losing his money. We didn't see that one coming.
No, we didn't.
I think this is the most deadly flop we've
I actually
seen
saw
like in 3 days.
I actually saw the ace and the 8 before I saw the queen.
Yeah, me too.
8 ball.
There is stuff like a queen or a king run out or whatever that can actually save Pascal.
That is
Even
an
then
excellent
it's
turn.
close. But if Anthony decides to bet very big, which he might, I think we're all in on the turn already. Is there a bet size that Pascal could just call and then get a queen to escape? Maybe if Anthony bets like 6.
I'm okay with the 8 as an escape.
I
I'm
mean,
actually gonna
Pascal.
go ahead and bet.
8, 8, 8, 8, 8. We could check it back.
Nah.
We'll
you're
go
in
with
central.
something like half pot, I think.
Yeah, it makes sense. I think I would bet like 9k here.
Yeah, this is
Then let the hand play itself.
curtains, I think, for.
Anthony is casually sipping his last water, and then I think, knowing Anthony's style, he is gonna move his chips in, and I cannot blame him.
Let's
Timing.
hope that he jams on us.
No, Pascal, you do not want that. Don't take the risk. You only have 2 pair. Now, a very nasty setup here. Unbelievable flop for these 2 holdings. Anthony still, how do you say, like, pretending to be weakish. He does flat. This is the deadliest river ever. for Pascal. Never gonna get away. Happily value betting even if check 2. Anthony might decide to just keep slow playing, so Pascal can potentially bluff it off like the floated Jack 10 of diamonds, stuff like that. This hand is particularly slow for compared to how strong the holdings are. I think we can blame Mr. Zinno for that. Snap! Oh! The face of Pascal.
I needed my boy to
this is brutal.
bring me level against Steven Van Zadelhoff.
This is brutal. Oh. This flop. This was the best flop, the most action-rich flop.
20 euros down to Steven Van Zadelhoff. As if he needed any more money. Losing my appearance
Forget about
fee.
the millions. I'm happy I can eat. I can pay the rent here. It's not super expensive.
Anyway, guys, that is 2-1 to Anthony Zinno there. Much needed points for the Las Vegas Moneymakers.
Boy, did it.
We heard that Anthony Zinno was a bit under the weather, and it was written all over his face. But that win is really kind of a nice tonic for him and the Las Vegas Moneymakers. About time they put a win on the board. Great result for Steven. Been a great night of action. We've seen Aaron Paul take down Jonathan Jaffe.
Fun matches.
We saw Jason Wheeler going toe-to-toe with Zhao Bauer.
Ramping up
really
the aggression.
Fun, ramping up the aggression, ramping down the patience. And we saw a very kind of, that was quite a patient game. It took a few sort of cooler spots in that spot. This has been Steven Van Zadelhoff.
Nice. Thanks, viewers.
That's it for this week. I'm Roland in the booth.
Thanks, Roland.
Over to you, Laura Cornelius, to shut down this show.
Thanks, boys. Good job to you. Congratulations to the Las Vegas Moneymakers. Finally, you won a game. Well done. 6 points going to the Las Vegas Moneymakers, though they're still at the bottom of the table. But well done. Congratulations to Anthony Zinno there, picking up 6 points for the team, which so deserved them. And of course, we saw some great poker there. Pascal Lefrancois, well done to you as well, picking up 3 points there for top of the conference, Montreal Nationals. That's how the standings look as we close the week. Montreal Nationals there with those 3 points are still, in fact, 9 points ahead of LA Sunset, who had a great night tonight. Aaron Paul picked up 6 points for them. They did well. Sao Paulo Mets also with 154 points. They picked up 6 points thanks to Joao Bauer. New York Rounders with 137 points. They picked up 3 points tonight thanks to Jason Wheeler. San Francisco Rush with 132 points. Jonathan Jaffe scoring 3 points in that match against Aaron Paul's for LA Sunset. And Las Vegas Moneymakers, as I said, stay at the bottom of the table, but that is a better spot that they were in than they were in at the start of the show. 111 points now, slowly climbing, but will they be able to climb on time? I don't know. I believe now that means Montreal Nationals have made it into a playoff spot. I'll get that confirmed though, so they are looking good to go for the playoffs and hopefully the final if they can make that as well, which will be played out in Las Vegas just at the end of November, start of December. That's when that will happen. Hope you've enjoyed watching the show this evening. It's been a good one. I said thanks already to the commentary team of Steven Van Zadelhoff and Roland in the booth B. Thank you guys for watching at home, and thanks to all of the players as well for playing, scoring their points and having a good old time. We're going to be back here on Tuesday evening for Six Max action, and that next Six Max game coming your way. We're going to have games from the Eurasian and of course the Americas Conference. They will kick off at 6 p.m. Central European time, so make sure you are here on Tuesday night. Have an absolutely fantastic weekend. See ya, bye.